James, come check this out.
What's up?
Yo, I played around with Photoshop, and I think I fixed all of the issues that everybody has with the new WRX.
Yeah, that's just the old WRX.
Yeah.
Ah.
You're watching Throttle. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the new WRX. From mean eye to bug eye to blob eye to hawk eye to stink eye to Evo eye, we now have this, the 5th generation WRX, which we'll call, I don't know, Sharp Eye. It's a continuation of a rally-bred icon, now sitting on the same platform as Subaru crossovers. It has a classic Subi all-wheel drive system, a Subaru Boxer engine, now enhanced, and as spec today in the limited trim, a 6-speed manual transmission. This side of 40 grand, there's nothing quite like it. But is it actually good? And is it really that different to last gen? Let's find out. If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and hit the bell.
In the new WRX with an astonishing 2.4 litre engine this time, we have more displacement. So even though we only gained a paltry extra 3 horsepower, there's more grunt down low. And because the engine is less stressed, it's probably got some more longevity, which is good news for the tuners among you. Now the rest, there's some similar stuff going on here from last generation. We're in the 6-speed manual right now. There is a CVT option, but I highly recommend the manual. This manual shifter feels like every Subaru manual shifter I've ever driven, minus the STI and the short shifting kit in the previous Ryu, whatever it was. This has long throws, it's purposeful, you can be kind of aggressive with it. It's a bit goopy, but you can be aggressive with it, which matches the personality of the car. The clutch is light, it's easy to live with. But more importantly, one of the biggest issues when the last generation WRX came out was rev hang. When you wanted to change gear, the needle hadn't dropped, the revs were still holding high, and it punished you for actually enjoying a manual gearbox, which ruins the point. They fixed it a bit towards the end of that generation, but I can say now, with absolute confidence, whatever rev hang there is, it's minimal. It's not impeding on my ability to enjoy it, which is great news because the other thing I can enjoy is absolutely throwing this thing around the canyons. I didn't expect a WRX to be able to manage canyons like this. That is not helped, unfortunately, by the steering feel, because there is next to no feel. It's pretty dead, it's light, it barely weights up in the corners. Thank God for that track-focused new suspension and stiffened chassis, because I still have a lot of confidence throwing this around, but the last cherry on top would have been if the steering was good, and it's lost that a bit this generation. But as far as power, 271 horsepower, there isn't much that competes with it. Maybe the rear-wheel drive Americans. And yeah, okay, something like a Civic Si or a Golf GTI or an Elantra N will feel sharper around these canyons. But those cars are screwdrivers, you know, levels. This is the full wrench kit. Okay, what's happened there is no one's ever around to help me at Home Depot, so I don't know much about tools.
James is right. Coincidentally, he knows nothing about tools. I'll talk to him. But the point is that the WRX has something that the Civic Si, the Elantra N, and the GTI don't. Because for those cars, the end of the road is literally the end of the road. But for a WRX, that's only half the story. this car is at home on a surface like this. And those might be more refined than this one, and I know they tried to improve the refinement this generation, and if I'm being honest, the ride's kind of still crappy on the highway, and it's still very loud. It's not refined, and it jostles over bumps. But this is a WRX. You want it to be a rough, tough, firefighting, machete-wielding lumberjack. You don't want refinement. A refined lumberjack is just a barista. But out here, I feel like I've got a lot of suspension travel. It's taking these big hits quite well. It's a washboard back road. A Wrangler just went past me. And do you want to know the only other cars I've seen on this road other than Wranglers? Subarus. If I see a Golf GTI, I'll take it all back. But until then, we're in Subaru country. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
That looks quite clean considering you just rallied it.
Yeah, we had the track wrap on it. You just peel it off, and it's
true.
good. Also, California dust doesn't stick to anything. It just blows away. Not like road salt in Canada.
Well, it's a little bit on there. But yeah, I would... I
That's
normally...
not me. That's swirls in the paint. That's
It's got some swirls.
good.
It's got some orange peel as well going on, but then so did $200,000 Mercedes is now. So
That's true.
at this price point, can't complain. What you can complain about though, yeah, I know it's got...
Well, I was going to point out the hood scoop, because that's the one thing we don't complain about, because it's cool.
It is cool.
And it's
It is.
WRX, it has to have a hood scoop. End.
But yeah, when we posted this on Instagram when it was
Yeah.
first announced, everyone was a bit like, oh, stinky.
Stinky.
For a few reasons. And interestingly, because I wasn't a big fan of it either.
Yeah.
But looking at it, because the cladding, right? The cladding makes it...
We're going right to the cladding. We're going right to it.
The Outback, the Subaru Crosstrek WRX.
You said it right there in the words.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that should have some, ooh, I got some plastic cladding, I'm outdoorsy and off-roady. It doesn't need it. All I want is just fender flares. I want more fender flare and less plastic.
Yeah, but look, you've got this cool aero bit and stuff.
That's probably doing some stuff.
No, the cladding I
Right.
don't mind as much as on the back, this same material is
rear
used,
end.
and it looks like a big black diaper. It looks
It's
like
not good.
I didn't say this. Someone online said it looks like a big diaper,
Yeah.
and now I can't get rid of that.
And the taillights are in the wrong spot, and they're in a weird shape, and the headlights are super cool, and the front end is good, but the taillights are just not. I don't like the rear end at all. The previous one was significantly better looking.
but still, yeah, we threw some shade at that.
Yeah.
Which was mean. But maybe
But
justified.
warranted. Okay, well, one last thing though, before we complain about the stuff in the inside.
Yeah.
We complain a lot, but this is just some dumb decisions, and we got to talk about them. Why doesn't it have a hatchback? Why don't I have a hatchback, all-wheel drive, turbocharged car? Why can't I get that? I want it.
Yeah, because the Impreza gets it.
Impreza gets a hatchback. Why can't this have I miss the Hawkeye generation.
That's because at Subaru, they're making some weird decisions, and that is
Yeah,
very...
okay.
I would love the hatchback as well. I
Yeah,
really would.
yeah.
And imagine if they came out with an STI hatch. Everyone would go mad for it.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands would say, I want it, and 5 would buy it, and that's all we would need.
That's right, yeah.
And there's dozens of us.
And the rest would buy, well, this is affordable, and it's got a manual, and they punish you ruthlessly.
Forgetting the manual.
Forget the manual, because on the inside,
Yeah,
let's go.
there's some weird decisions.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's just get it out of the way.
Okay.
Because this is the limited trim,
Yes.
as Thomas said, we get punished for having the manual because you cannot get the GT trim, which gives you
So much stuff.
adaptive suspension,
Suspension.
drive modes,
Yeah.
so you can put your car into comfort or sport, Recaro seats,
Yeah.
all the driver assists, and that's not to say that the CVT, it's not as good.
No, it's not as good. It's slow.
It's slow and like why wouldn't they just make it available? I would like a manual with Recaros, please.
Yeah, well, I would like a manual with adaptive suspension, because that would fix some of the problems we have with the ride.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Maybe. We haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know. We can't say. But like it is a weird choice, right? I mean, at least we get this massive iPad screen, which has been fine. It's just not very bright.
It's not very bright, and there are certain things that you intuitively don't work. So this is the climate control, for example. I would expect to be able to do this, and I can't.
No, you
so
can only tap. Yes.
But you do feel like you can be rugged with it. I do like that. This is the most rugged feeling touchscreen.
Yeah, but it's on a back slant, so the sun hits it, the dust hits it, and then it's absolutely invisible.
Yeah, it's not great.
Right? But it's reasonably quick. It is an upgrade from the previous one, and I very much appreciate that there are solid buttons for the temperature and the volume and all that stuff, right? Here's a funny thing though.
The heated seats is 2-button though.
I've reset the trip in this vehicle more than I have reset the trip in any vehicle in my life.
Why?
In 2 days. Because look what the trip reset button is.
This is where the start button
That's where the start button is. And you can kind of see it out of the corner of your eye. You look through
That's the one you see, yeah.
yeah, it's such a horrible spot for the trip reset. Yeah, the seats are fine though.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Still good headroom in here. And honestly, one of the coolest things about the WRX, this is the same as the previous one, is the visibility is amazing. With these little windows down here, and this is a skinny A-pillar, amazing view.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. Very livable.
It still does all the WRX stuff. They could have gone
Yes.
for a digital cockpit, but they didn't. They've stuck to kind of like the
It
analog.
looks fine. And well, the old WRX had a little second screen up to the top middle.
Oh yeah,
where
it
you
did,
had-
with,
where you had your
with the
booth.
really responsive.
Yeah, and it was
yeah.
great, but this one has been moved to the center. Right, all that information is now there.
Ah, that's kind of less fun.
It is less fun, but then you get this like trendy iPad.
Which
stuff to
isn't
that.
super fast.
No, it's fine though. It's fine. It's better than the previous one.
Yeah.
Steering wheel's still cool. Back seat headroom is livable. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
usable. You can move people around in this thing,
Still a manual shifter to manual handbrake combination.
which is really what you want.
Yeah, a lot of them give up the manual handbrake.
Yeah, buying advice. This is still the one to get. I know that the other, what was it called? The GT.
GT
gets all the extra stuff, but honestly resist the urge. You would be at that point better off getting a Golf with an auto. If you want a kind of all-wheel drive, rugged, manual, rip around in the snow type of car, this is the only way to do it.
This is still the most rugged offering.
Yes, and it's still the.
Yeah.
It is still the actually until the Corolla, a GR Corolla shows up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a video on the drag race.
Yeah, and if there's anyone who can review rugged vehicles,
It's me.
Rugged or not, anyone can drive a WRX, and that's still true for this generation. Short of towing a boat, it feels like it can do everything, and with ease. Yes, a Golf R is more refined. They definitely didn't fix that this time around. A BRZ is more fun on the road, but not as sure-footed. Really, to accomplish its task of being in a class of its own, as the all-wheel drive rough, gruff lumberjack, the WRX didn't need to be that different, which is good, because it isn't. Thanks for watching.
I think I fixed all of the problems with the new WRX. This is something that people will be happy with.
that's just the doll. That's just the doll.
That's just a dough WRX. You down there bring down a cutter, eh?
Doll.
Okay, right?
Yeah.